back, y'all, with another episode of Young and Self-Employed, the Unfiltered Stories. I'm your host, Nisa, and of course I have...
Called Christian, aka the Nice Agent. So yes, today we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about the old folks, not me. So, do you recall the things that your parents or grandparents used to say that you never followed or you don't believe in? And maybe down the road you realize that they were right. Maybe not for you yet, but I'll let you know.
I'm sure there are a lot of things that I didn't agree with my mom.
Example.
An example? Because there's different eras, you know. There's like preteen me, there's high school me, and then there's after high school me, and then there's now me.
Oh. So that means just traveling.
There's a few different stages. One thing my mom was big on, which I understood, but I don't know if I necessarily agreed with. She would always say, pick 2 or 3 friends. Stick to those friends. But middle school, and it makes sense, and I agree 100%, but like middle school, high school me, I'm like, 2 or 3 friends. Keep those. I mean, what if I don't, I can't introduce you to 2 or 3, and then what if I don't like them in a year? Now I have to find another 2 or 3 and be fired because that's more than the first 2 or 3 you told me about. So.
It is true.
Yeah, so that was the thing.
I recall that.
Yeah.
My mom used to say, you will become whoever you hang around with.
Mm-hmm.
I did not believe it. And I hang around a bunch of people that I should not be hanging around. And a lot of things happened that should not have happened. So yes, I believe that you're right, the preteen, you would not listen to it. But what she meant is friends. The times that a lot of people confuse that word, friends. Friends is people that you look up to, people that look up to you, people that you count on, people that count on you. And a lot of times we look at acquaintances and we think of them as friends. So she was right. Pick 2 or 3 friends.
Right.
But you can get 1 million acquaintances. Who cares? Like right now, you have 80,000 followers on Facebook and Instagram. They are acquaintances.
Right.
They're not friends.
Right.
And I believe that was a very good advice. One thing that I've learned the other day when we're talking about friends is in the English word, the word ship means to take you somewhere. Usually somewhere better, but that's never all the case.
Right.
So isn't it a weird way that all the words that relate you with other people ends with ship? Friendship, relationship, partnership. So meaning that if you are in a friendship with someone, it's for the person to take you somewhere.
Right.
And a lot of times we don't understand that. So yes, I agree with your mom. We should have picked 2 or 3, and I made the mistake. Yeah.
I had too many friends.
Oh, yes.
I picked 2 or 3 friends, but they were like the worst.
Just the wrong one. So you're just wrong at picking. All right, yeah. So what are the things that I remember? I remember that my dad used to say something. He used to say that if you have an appointment with someone, be on time. If you're on time, you are late. And I would always ask him, like, but if I'm on time, what do you mean I'm late? He said, okay, do you know who you're going to meet? I'm like, no. He said, exactly. Always be 10, 15 minutes in advance. So if the person was training to kill you, you catch them in the act. And I'm like, that makes sense.
It fits.
And I try to be 10, 15 minutes early everywhere, just to be sure.
But nobody kills me.
But hey, I'm still alive. But yeah, I wish I had a lot more things that he said that I took to heart. I took this one to heart, but there's others that I did not. And now in my mid-age, mid-age, I wish I listened more. I wish. Anything else do you recall?
I'm trying to think. I mean, my mom made a lot of sense.
Mom, are you listening? This is your moment. Repeat.
I was just a hard-headed kid. It's only that now I'm like, wow, yep, she was onto something.
She was right. She was right.
Oh my goodness.
I,
don't know.
I went sideways a lot. I did not want to listen to my mom. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not. I always thought that, I knew better. And sometimes most of my things, they work for the first 10 minutes, so now I'm happy, and then they just stop working for the rest of my life. In my relationship with my mom was more of a tyrant. Like, she always like after me, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that. My relationship with my dad was a little different. But it's just, to me, there's things that I've heard from them. Like, about money. My parents used to say, you have to save for a rainy day. They always say that. I listened to it. But the problem is, they never told me what to do with that savings. And rainy days never come. So I wasted. So those are the sayings that I would tell to everybody, that you have to be careful listening to them, because it's like Eric Thomas said something one day. They're all ancient in their thinking, but it doesn't mean they're not thinking straight. Ancient means that there's certain saying that they say right now, the world's changed, and they did not adapt with it. So you have to take that saying and do not neglect it, but adapt it to the new world. And that's what most of us, we fail to do. I'm hoping that I do better with my daughter, but it's a very different world. It's like yesterday, my daughter's conversation was, should an 18-year-old date a 15-year-old? Why?
Me and my sister had this conversation recently too. I just feel like, okay, so 18, you're a senior. 15, what is that? Like a sophomore? I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't make sense, especially if he's gonna graduate there. And it's not because the age gap is big. It's not that big, but it's the phase in life that they're in. It doesn't.
This is a big one.
I feel like 18-year-olds can date 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds can date 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds. Y'all can be friends until you're 16, but before that, like, what do you do?
You know they're not gonna be friends.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, because there are some cases that, it's like 20-year-olds and like 17-year-olds, but it's just.
This is my first answer to her. The first thing I said, no, for the 18-year-old's sake. And the reason why, because it's illegal. That's number one, okay? And the law is so clear that there's no in and out around it. It's statutory rape, which means that whether you love the person or not, things can go very sideways very quick. And you end up in jail for no reason. What I think is, I don't believe the gap is a difference. And she was fighting me over it. And I'm like, look, let me tell you something. We assume that an 18-year-old male is mature. No, he's not. I believe the 15-year-old female is actually more mature than the 18-year-old. Right. So to me, it does not make a difference, because at the end of the day, that girl's going to run him. So to me, it does not make a difference. That is basically what I see, except like an example. In Haiti, there's no age difference. There's no law with the age. So which means that an 18 can date a 16 and things, they end up getting married, have kids, nobody ever say anything. But for here, it's just, to me, you are a little right where they're going to change. The problem is with a different country than America. From 18 to 19, the kid is suddenly exposed to a lot of things. The minute he goes to college, he's just exposed. Where in some other countries, we've been exposed since 15, 16, so we're not going to go crazy. So here is a 15-year-old that never been exposed to anything, dating somebody that's just getting exposed to stuff, and then guess what? It's going to spill over to the 15. So for me, for that reason, no.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I get an agreement here. Whoa!
Because you're right. I mean, I don't expect an 18-year-old male to be mature in the slightest. But because of the legalities of it,
yeah.
Just if you're gonna do it, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. Because
it doesn't matter actually. It doesn't matter if they did it or not. It doesn't matter.
Because if the
the
girl's
minute they are
parents want to press
together,
charges,
the minute they are together, it doesn't matter if they did it or not.
I mean, somebody has to press charges though in order to.
Yes,
to happen.
somebody has to. Yes.
But I mean, sometimes when the girl doesn't, even if the parents want to, but the girl doesn't want to say anything, then they can't do anything to him. It's just gonna cause problems. It's very messy at that age.
Yeah, it is. that one. But the thing is, like what I was saying is, we're talking months. We're not talking years. Right. It's like the boy may have turned 18 in August. She turns 16 in December. Like we're talking months, and things just can go very south very quick.
Just keep things on the down low and be safe.
No, don't do it. Don't listen to her.
Keep things on the down
low. No, don't listen to her.
Because I mean, what if they're really like high school sweethearts? What are you gonna
do? Be acquaintances.
Just lie about it until both of y'all are 18, okay?
Be acquaintances until then. Mm-hmm. Another saying about work.
About work?
Yes. What was the advice you when it comes to you're gonna graduate high school? What was your advice? What should you do?
My advice was go to college, find a job that pays. But I actually didn't do any of that. Well, I did go to college for a little bit. I didn't finish though. I wanted to be in college for something I wanted to do and not just to go, because I learned very quickly student debt was a thing. And so I didn't want to just waste my time, and especially like around that time realizing I have ADHD. So even like
you do,
I do. So like the school setting is horrible. That's why I took the real estate class in a week, because I was like, I'm not going to last any longer than that. So, and it was prescribed, but I was taking Adderall for the class to specifically make sure I get all the information I need. But yeah, so I went for like interior design, but I would like to go back, but I don't know when. I'd have to wrap my mind around it, because I would go back for architect. Sure.
That would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I need an architect tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'll
try to find one for you.
Me, it's like pick those three. Either you become a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, and deal with it. But of course, I was not in the 80s, so that did not happen. But I did pick law. I don't know. It's just for me, there were other options, but they did not even entertain the idea of other options. Mm-hmm. I do believe a child should go to college. I think the first 2 or 4 years of college is mandatory in my household. Mm-hmm. The reason why is I believe that within college, that's when you actually make the friends or acquaintances with the people that's going to help you grow. Mm-hmm. That is it's a must, because a lot of people from high school did not go to college, mm-hmm. or they didn't end up nothing in their life anyway. Right. So if they are your friends, you're gonna go right down that path with them. Right. But when you meet people in college, there's a very high chance that those are the people that are gonna become CEOs. They're gonna become owners of companies and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So to me, this is the environment to start building your network. Right. So I don't agree with not going to college at all. I don't agree with it. I believe it's important. Mm-hmm. But of course, some people can make it without. Right. I believe that. I'm not the first person that's going to tell you, if you don't go to college, you're not going to make it. That's not true. Mm-hmm. A lot of my friends did not go, and they are way better than me. Mm-hmm. So yes, but I do believe the first 2 years are extremely important.
I would say I wouldn't make college mandatory, but I would make some form of schooling and go like a technical school. Like going into senior year, summer, like you need to start finding a trade if you don't know necessarily what you want to do. If you were to go to college, you need to find a trade that will make you money in the meantime. Because if you don't go to school or you don't have a trade, you're stuck working these
But that's where I disagree. It should not be about making the money.
But that's today's society. It doesn't matter what it should be about. Like, we know it's wrong, but what are we going to do?
It should not be about making the money.
But it is. It absolutely
Because once you get into that loophole, that's it. You're not gonna get out. So if it's about making money, then you go learn to be an AC tech. Okay, you go to a technical school, you be an AC tech, and then you're making like $60,000-$80,000 a year. Okay, no problem.
That's great.
But it's never gonna be enough.
Okay, but that's just starting out as a 17,
Now from the AC
18-year-old.
tech, what are you gonna do after that?
You're gonna be exposed to other things in that industry or just different things in life. You'll be able to meet new people because in that trade, it's not just people fresh out of high school. It's adults who also have that skill set who you're working with. So you're exposed in a different way, but in a more particular way because you're in that trade. But I mean, it's better than not going to college and not doing anything because you're gonna be stuck working like for sales.
This episode is a little too serious. What do you guys think? Anyway, let's keep going.
I don't think college is mandatory, but schooling is.
So you don't agree with somebody picking a career right off high school?
If you know exactly what you want to do, that's great.
You should. How do you
but not everybody
know?
does. I didn't.
What?
I was lost as hell after high school.
Because you have to pick one.
I was like,
you just have to pick something.
Yeah, but I didn't care for school.
Yeah, but you just pick something. You're like, you know what? I want to be this. And then just go with it and never turn back.
Yeah, okay, but my mindset was schooling. I'm like 2 years just to find out something I don't want to do. That's kind of dumb. But if I do it technical school, which is a couple months, okay, it's a couple months.
And then you're going to be doing technical schools forever.
Not necessarily.
Okay, so this
because
is what
if you get a if you get a trade license and then you're working that and you decide I want to go back to school, now you can probably pay for some of your schooling where you're not in so much debt or you have a better idea of what you want to do.
What about the time?
What about the time?
You just spent a couple of months studying something, doing something.
To make money. Because even if it's not your passion, you have to live.
But you know that if you pick the first one and you stick with it, you would actually make more money.
That's for the person to decide.
I
think the technical school is a good option to get a better job out of high school because if you don't do any type of schooling and you don't know what you want to do in college and you're just there, you're going to be limited to the easy jobs. At least if you have a trade, like before senior year, summer, you took a trade class and now you can actually apply for those type of jobs while you think about it and wait because a lot of people don't go to college right after high school. So imagine all those people that didn't go to college and they took a trade, they'd be making money while they waste their time not going to college.
If you're not going to go to college, yes, you should do this. But what I'm saying is the person that kept trying things, that's my problem. Because now they become a doctor of trying. They are expert of trying. They tried this. I met with a girl, she's a nurse, she's an RN, believe it or not. She tried nursing. She's trying now to do jewelry. She's trying real estate. She's trying mortgage broker. It's like she becomes an expert of trying things.
I mean, what if she's just good at a lot of things? Is she not good at them?
She might be watching. Yeah.
Fine.
Oh, please forgive me. I was not talking about you. I was, that was this other girl that I knew.
Right.
Yeah.
This person you knew.
Yeah. But it's true. You can't be trying things all the time. You have to pick one.
If it makes you money, why not?
It's not about money.
It literally is. I don't understand.
If
you don't hate it, I mean, it's making you money, it's good enough.
I'm going to tell you something. The money comes by itself. The money comes
that's what people with money
by itself.
say.
No, that's not people with money that says that. People that actually made it happen would say that because they understood that trying and chasing the money doesn't work. It does not work. Okay, let me give you the clear idea. I'm sure I said it in an episode before. Money are like women. This is money. Money is just like women. The more you chase a woman, you tell her she's beautiful, you're all over her, she runs away. She gets scared, she doesn't like you. The minute this boy sits around, don't talk to nobody, always look fly, the woman drags herself to him. It's money. So the thing is like you have to attract the money to you. So you get yourself the knowledge, you get yourself ready, and the money just comes. But if you keep chasing the money by trying things, you will always be in a trying mode because the money will never be enough.
I guess.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
I mean,
I've seen people chase money for years. I have a friend of mine, he's in his 60s, still chasing and has nothing. And if he did pick one thing, today his life would have been different. An example of me, because this show is about everything. So, I'm a realtor. I know real estate very well. Everything I do in real estate turns out great. Okay? And then I decided to go into trucking for no reason. That was the worst mistake of my life. Because I went and tried to chase the money in trucking. I'm not a trucker. And I lost a lot of money. You know, and that's what I'm telling everybody. If you're not it, don't do it. A lot of people think they can invest in things and then just let it run. It does not work that way. If you're not it, don't do it. Period. So you wanna be a trucker, go be a trucker. Don't try to be a trucker. Because to be a trucker, it might take you 10 years. How do you try something for 10 years? The same for real estate. For somebody to become a successful agent, it's after the 5th year. You can't try something for 5 years. It's either you do it or you don't. So that's why I say, to me, the guidance of college will actually put you in that direction. That's why I believe college exists. For people to pick something and stick with it. A lot of people just don't. And then when they get into their 40s, their 50s, they're looking at their neighbor, they're looking at their friends that are having a great life, and they're like, what happened? You did not stick with it.
That's why if you don't know what you want to do in college, go to trade school.
Because
what's the point of going to a college where you're paying thousands for tuition and you don't even know exactly what you want to do?
That's the part with your generation. When you guys will know.
Okay, but you want me to spend thousands of dollars while I'm
Because it was
figuring
never
it out?
about knowing. That's where you got it wrong. It's about choosing.
Okay, but not everybody knows how to choose. I mean, even if that's how it should be, that's not how it is.
Repeat that one.
Because people go every day, go to college not knowing what they want to do, but are going to college because their family told them that they have to go to college. So now they're just there $1,000 in debt. There's nurses who make money but are in so much debt it don't even matter how much they make.
And I'm sure they are happy.
And I'm sure the person who went to trade school and isn't in $1,000 in debt but is still making a comfortable living.
I'm not against trade school. I'm not. If somebody chooses to be an AC tech, trust me, that person can be a lot more successful than a doctor. I know that because I know a few of them. So I'm not against trade school. I'm against trying things. Because the idea is not about knowing what you want. The idea is pick one and do it. That's it. That's what I believe in. You pick something and do it. It's like an example. Let's go back to relationship. How can you, in 3 months of dating someone, you know this is the person for the rest of your life? No, you don't. You pick that person and you go with it. But you don't know. So it's the same thing. Picking to be a lawyer, an engineer, it's all about sticking with it.
Right.
Like I tell most people, you pick it, you do it, and it will allow you to do what you truly love. But the thing is, like your generation, you want to do what you truly love before you even do anything else. And then now you're always broke. That's the problem. Because for you to do what you love, it costs money. There's no one thing you love to do that will not cost you money, even sleeping. You have to find a place to do it. Okay, so therefore, if you pick to be an AC tech, you pick to be a nail technician, a realtor, you do it for 10, 15 years, you save all your money, you don't go buy crazy things, and then now you can sleep for a long time. But you did pick one. So that is why I think that if my parents explained it to me that way, I would have stopped trying things. Because I did have my few trying. Yeah, I just stopped a while ago. But yeah, so that's my thing. Stop trying. Just pick one, do one, and eventually you're gonna love it because it will make you do. Like an example, I may not enjoy being an attorney, right? But because I'm an attorney, I have enough money for me to travel the world. Guess what I'm gonna end up loving?
Being an attorney. Maybe.
You know?
Maybe you just tolerate it. Maybe you just don't hate it enough.
I don't hate it enough. So that's why my advice is to anybody that is listening. Pick something. Stop chasing what you love. I know a lot of times on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, they are telling you, oh, do what you love. Life is short. What if it's long? A lot of you don't realize that when you say you only live once, YOLO, life is short. What if it's actually long? What if you die at 90 or 95? So the thing is, like, you have to set it up where you can enjoy life for as long as it takes. That's my advice to you. So pick one, do one, and do what you enjoy because of it.
I think the moral of the story is education is important. Whether you go to trade school or whether you go to college, you need to be doing something. Just don't be too choosy.
Don't do it for the money.
I'm not gonna say that. But you need to go to trade school or you need to go to college. Unless you're being grandfathered into your parents' company, which is
oh no, if you don't go to school you're gonna probably destroy the company. So you better go to school.
So, and that's right. So trade school or college, you guys. Just don't be too choosy because you're gonna be wasting your time starting over each time.
And this was the episode for this one. It was obviously very entertaining. The young and self-employed, unfiltered stories. You hear it all here. So I cannot wait to see you guys on the next one.